We are live.
Hey
Happy Friday.
everybody.
Hey, everybody. Happy Friday. Oh, shoot. Couldn't get my phone to stop. Hold on just a second.
Hello. Y'all, it is Friday. We have made it to the wind down. We have made it. Thank you so much for your patience. Today, we're Mel, her niece's house.
Sorry, y'all.
Yeah, we had to change it for a couple seconds. We early, we late, but
We early, though, y'all. We're earlier than the time that I have listed. The fire alarm went off, and we had to go across the street, sit outside. But we're back now. Everything's good. I came in. I made my drink. I'm drinking something different today.
listen, Mel asked what kind of day was court today, and I'm gonna show y'all this what kind of day court was today.
I told her, I said, I need to know. I was seeing some tweets like here and there, but I don't know the full scope. So I need y'all to tell me. I did see that Hank showed his ass today.
He showed out. He showed out.
So tell me what were the craziest moments from Thank you, pretty.
The craziest thing overall, I will say, is Hank lost control. He crashed out. He lost control. I did not expect. Now I expect moments like that because we're in a embroiled portion of it where we down to the wire. So I expect everybody to be a little bit passionate. I did not expect a crash out. Mel would have lost it today. She would have lost
it. When you say crash out, what do you mean by crashing out?
By crashing out,
I mean today.
Like this. Listen, I put it like this. The spiral was real. I'll give you a little hint, and then I'll tell you the gist of it, and we'll go into some moments. Imagine if Higgins actually got Karen as his woman, and then Karen cheated. How do you think Higgins would spiral? You see what I'm saying? A sucker. So it was so bad. So the Sogra was on the stand all day today. They did finish him as a witness, but he started to stand. It was so bad today. Hank was so bothered by the fact that the Sogra did not apply one personal touch to his analysis. Everything that the Sogra did was analyzed and clarified everything that Burgess and Welcher did.
Oh, so attacking the Sogra is attacking them.
There you go. So he had a sucker attack to the point his revenge had him so blind he didn't realize that he was attacking his own case. Well, what if the data is wrong? That means you're wrong. Like, no, fool. That means your experts are wrong.
No.
He did not apply one personal piece of methodology. He did not add to. What he did was he went through the January report, completed all the calculations, and laid them out in a nice table for all of us to understand. Then he went through the May 8th.
Wait, so you can understand him.
You can understand everything that Burgess did. Now, I don't think they wanted us to understand.
Oh.
Because by understanding the January 30th report, that meant that every instance of every calculation that Shannon had placed that trigger happening before that lock button was pushed.
What?
There you go. So for May 8th, he applied, as DeSogra said, a number of methodologies. And DeSogra went through and applied each one of those methodologies to each thing. So if he did if he did A equals B plus C on this, then over here he did B equals C plus D. DeSogra did A equals B plus C and B equals C plus D on everything to show what the method, every methodology he used, how the calculation came out on everything, and did not add a personal number.
So you mean he did the arithmetic? He did the
exactly, because on the January 30th report, we found out today that not one calculation was complete. It was just a bunch of pretty much problems. It was pretty much, if I was going to calculate the mass, I would use mass equals force time acceleration. This is the mass, but he never solves the problem. He never
solved the problem
in January 30th. So then when DeSogra pointed that out, that's what's wrong.
Wait, T. You keep saying January 30th. Did they point out the differences in the two reports?
So then after he gave all of the results that were left out of January 30th, he went and took every methodology that he applied, the number of methodologies for May 8th that changed some numbers. He applied every methodology to every calculation that he had, came up with an answer for every calculation, and then recalculated everything with 3 seconds and without, because apparently that 3-second buffer he told us about, he only noted it in the beginning of the report, but never calculated for the 3 seconds in any of the times.
What?
Yes. So not only did DeSogra line up the differences for the May 8th report, but he also calculated it where he did it with the 3 seconds and without the 3 seconds.
Wait. So he actually did that for us. Baby, I know Hank was ready to.
One step further, friend. He did one for you, friend. He calculated it so bad that he found out that when Shannon said it was 21 to 29 seconds and he gave us that one answer, he said, no, it actually wasn't one conclusion that he came to on that slide. It was actually 9. So what I'll do, 9. So what I'll do is I'll go ahead and calculate using the 3 seconds, not 3 seconds, and every methodology he used. And that came up with 30 calculations, friend. You ready? You ready? So he found out that the way Shannon was doing it, hold on real quick, 2 more things. He found out the way Shannon was doing that, this every time you came up with a positive number, that positive number is after the backing maneuver. So after the trigger. Anytime the number was the same or 0, that means it's happening at the same time as the trigger.
Okay.
Anytime the number was a negative number, that means it happened before the trigger, right?
Yeah.
So remember May 8th, he said, we got new information. This happened before the trigger, i.e. negative numbers. So when DeSogra did all 30 of those calculations for him, yes, 2 of the 30 landed right on the 0 where the trigger and the backing maneuver would have happened at the same time. 25 of the 30 ended in positive numbers, meaning 25 out of 30 calculations put that lock button happening by John after the backward maneuver.
How many? You said 25?
Yes, 25, and 2 put it at the same time. Wait a minute. So that leaves us with what? 3 out of 30 calculations put us at this happened. The lock button happened before the trigger.
Let me tell you something.
So, baby, when AJ said, and 3 out of 30 is what percentage? Hank lost his shit. He didn't want him to say that 10% for nothing, because he knew if he said 10%, he's gonna be able to say that 83% about that 25 out of 30.
Whoa.
That, honey.
Oh, I'm gonna watch it again, and if you
you got to. Hank lost
you
it.
know me,
bad. He brought up education.
You know I'm gonna scream. I'm gonna scream, even though I know it's coming.
He lost it so bad he brought up education.
So you got education.
You got your degree. You got your degree, and you know everything.
Hell no.
Since you got a degree, why you ain't do your own work?
Hell no. What you are not about to do.
Friend, he did.
Tell me Hank had the audacity to bring up anyone's education.
just to say that he's not certified. Just to say that he's not certified by a particular group that does accident reconstruction.
That's it.
My thing is, do we have to be to do math? This is the report.
Because I was talking to one of my friends that's a mechanical engineer, and I said, well, I know you don't do biomechanics. He was like, but I mean, the math is math. We were talking about this the other day.
Like, do I have to have anything to follow your report and read the report? Because at this point, he's doing what the jury's getting ready to do. Oh, baby, he told him he don't understand the report because he don't know the origin of the numbers because he didn't get the data himself. So he can't say if it's he said with your pluses and your minuses.
What?
Oh, he lost it.
So they were up there tussling.
Oh, no, they weren't, because the Soger was laughing at him. It wasn't a tussle. The Soger did not turn
off. How did the Soger come off to you?
He was absolutely 350% their worst nightmare.
Oh,
like a cucumber. He made everything absolutely plain. He explained everything that Dr. Welcher didn't, everything that Burgess couldn't. He made it so bad. He had no laptop, no other laptop, no notes, no Apple Watch, and didn't need a damn thing. Do you hear me? Nothing.
Not even a smartwatch.
Nothing. Had nothing, friend. He got up there and he was absolutely presenting as their worst nightmare. Even if they were both liars, you would have picked him if you knew he was lying. He was cool as a cucumber. He was absolutely relatable. You can understand everything. And I have not seen one complaint today of him explaining the same exact thing that Burgess and Welcher did that anybody said they didn't get it. Well, I have not seen anybody say they didn't get it.
The issue is if he can get on that stand and the information can be translated in layman's terms, that like Shannon had an issue doing that, and goddamn it, Welcher was terrible.
Well, let me tell you this, friend. This is what you're gonna start to see when you go watch it. And I won't give you all the pinpoints, but I will just say that Hank made it painstakingly clear that an engineer can't just look at this report and think he knows something. You don't know the origin of it. Shannon is the only one that knows how to get this one. Shannon got this information. Shannon found this. Thanks, Shannon. Compliment Shannon, because Shannon did this for you. Nobody was able to find this information but Shannon. And friend, he minced no words. He did no metaphors or similes when he made it very clear that unless you've talked to Shannon, you can't understand a goddamn thing on this. So I'm like, if you're making it so another engineer is absolutely wrong every time they come up with a calculation and literally said with your pluses and your minuses.
Oh my God, I can't wait.
Well, what the fuck is the jury supposed to do with it? If you're handing me a report and saying this is the information, but you're telling another engineer that there's no way they could possibly understand it unless Shannon is holding your hand.
Like what? After Shannon told us that he doesn't even have his degree, he doesn't. Child, stop.
Honey, he looked at him and said, "So if the data is wrong, then show us your analysis, correct?" The Soger said, "Absolutely." Like dummy. He kept giggling because there was no way.
Wait a minute.
Spiraled so bad.
So Hank threw his own experts under the bus?
Honey, Hank. Okay, now I got to say it. Hank asked this man his opinion on the accuracy of Shannon's versus Welcher's.
Why would he do that? After he just sat up there yesterday talking about they're trying to put the ME and Welcher against each other. Now you... Okay, I'm going to say it. Y'all. I mean, we've heard this before. Hank secretly wants Karen to get out of jail. I mean, not get out of jail. He wants her to beat the case. He's a double agent. God damn it, the courtroom must be communist Russia. Okay? It's got to be communist Russia. That's the only explanation for how bad he's fumbling.
Friend, I can't wait till you watch it. I don't care what time it is. Text me. I don't care what time it is, because friend, you're going to lose your marbles. I want to tell you so much, but I'm not. But what I will tell you is that there was a voir dire today.
Again?
Mm-hmm. Jonathan Diamantis.
Who the hell is that?
Sixth grade friend of Proctor.
What the
graduated high school
from the group
group chat, and he came with counsel.
Well, let me stop, because let me tell you, Aaron has made me stop doing the with counsel. He should have an attorney, but what the hell he trying to protect himself from?
Why the group chat need an attorney? He only put one message in that whole list, friend.
What's up with the group chat?
So apparently, and it's got to be something to it, because Hank conceded today. So basically, Yannetti had him authenticate. This is you. You know all these people in here. He was about to have them name off first names of everybody that's in there, but he didn't. He just went by the last 2 digits of each number, and he knew everybody in there. So much so, he recognized their numbers without a name there. So you know this is the group chat. Okay, this man knows this group chat. This are his friends. He said it's not the whole high school. These are high school era friends. So they all went to high school around the same time, just not the same school. So they are all friends. And they've had this group chat for years. He did, identify Proctor, his phone number, all that good stuff. And basically, Yannetti wanted him to authenticate the group chat. And then had him say certain things like, yes, it was my phone. Yes, I got a lock code on my phone. So yes, a lock code means would nobody be able to get in here and chat with these people but you. And then after he had him authenticated up and down, backwards and forwards, then he actually had him he basically had Bev tell him he needed to come back. So apparently he had been out there all day waiting to testify, him and another lady. They brought the lady in, told her she had to come back on Monday. She said, cool. They brought him in, did the voir dire, and then to authenticate this group chat. And then they told him, he was like, well, can you tell him he needs to be back on Monday? And she was like, well, he got counsel. So Mr. Campbell stepped forward, introduced himself, and said he'll have his client back on Monday. Now,
who was the lady?
Kelly Deaver.
Wait, was that the person? Y'all, is Kelly the one who was at the police station when the call came in? When Good took the call, she was there with him. I think that's who that is. I think I saw Lexi in the chat. I know Lexi will know, but I want to say Kelly. Okay, they said yes. Oh damn.
She was sitting outside.
Did she see Higgett? Oh God.
So what they tell, so then after that, Yannetti like, okay, he can come back on Monday. And he said, so you want me to go through the authentication? I just authenticated. And she said, no, you need to tell me why this is admissible. So he goes through the authentication. I guess the Commonwealth wrote a memorandum as to why these text messages shouldn't come in. Now, this lets me know that these text messages are probably going to come in and Hank is trying to control it, because what he did do is get with Yannetti and they got down to 3 messages that they can't agree on whether or not they should be in or out. Like they battling over these 3.
So
Ben said, send me.
Calling Proctor. We know for sure the defense is not calling him either, but they're trying to get the group chat in.
So what happens is Yannetti is saying he's in there. He's authenticated it. He's talking in there. He's part of this conversation. He can bring in these messages. Brennan is saying, I'm not arguing about the messages. The messages are admissible, but under a certain context. Basically, you can't take a comment and turn it into a consequence. You can't say that he overheard a comment and friend knows that was a consequence for Karen. He said, if you want the consequence up in there, if you want the comments, they were inappropriate, they were unprofessional, and yes, in a court of law, that question of bias would come up. So I'm not arguing against that. What I'm saying is, if you want that comment to turn into consequence for Karen, then what you're going to have to do is get somebody else to do it. You want to talk about bias, then ask the man whose mind of the state you're trying to talk about. You ask him about it.
He wants them to call Proctor.
He called Proctor.
Begging him to call.
Begging, because Proctor probably about to hit that 5th.
He begging him to call Proctor. Wait, time out. When this case started, and there was this back and forth, millionaires, did we not say Proctor might get up there and plead the 5th? And people were like, no, because again, they were thinking the state was going to call them. Now we've gotten here. the fifth is seeming more and more likely. He might plead the fifth. It seems like it.
You gotta know that he's going to, because why would you try that? Why would that be what you encourage? Why would that be who I tempt you with? Why would that be the idea I give you? Okay.
Thank you, Lisa, for becoming a member.
So we look up.
Oh, this too much. I should have took a shot myself.
Listen, he said, I told you, you asked what kind of day it was. I poured Hennessy. The wine is over there. I said, so he then says, you can call whomever you want, but if you want to know the state of mind and say, Unetti said we should be able to bring in that he used kid gloves with some and brass knuckles with others. And then he started going into the insults. Bev said, you ain't got to tell all the insults. I already got them in front of my face. He said, unless you get ready to say that this evidence in, I'm going to keep talking. And he spilled every insult.
Who? Unetti?
Oh, baby, it went down. Today was a knockdown, drag out fight.
I'm with Erica. Why the hell did I choose today to miss court? I'm with Erica.
Today was a knockdown, drag out fight. The first thing that came out of Brendan's mouth today, he came out swinging, which is why I don't understand how he ended up crashing out. He came out with the gloves on first. He threw the first punch. He said, so your opinion is that Karen Reed's vehicle didn't hit John O'Keefe? Like, oh, he came out swinging this morning. I can't believe he spiraled like that. So when Unetti kept talking, because, okay, I'm going to keep throwing these insults out here because you don't want to keep, you act like you don't understand, pick up what I'm putting down. Brendan over here saying that I can say the insults, but then I can't give the context behind them and how that translated into what happened with Karen. And then he's saying, okay, you can bring them in, but only with certain context. And we down to 3 that we can't agree on. Unetti said, respectfully, motherfucker, you ain't at this table, at this defense table. You don't tell me who the fuck to run this. You don't tell me who to call. You don't tell me what to ask. So respectfully, stay your ass over there at your table. And if you want to speak to the state of mind after I talk about this group chat, if you want to rebut Diamantis, then you call Proctor and rebut what his friend getting ready to say. Oh, baby. Baby, listen, baby. It got
in one day. All this in one day.
One day.
Thank you, Lizzie, for gifting
all this in one day, friend. All of this.
I am just really upset. When I tell you, I thought I was going to be able to listen as the day when that just didn't happen. The only thing I heard today was a piece of AJ arguing a little bit. That was like early this morning. That was it. That's all I heard today. So I have been struggling. I've been struggling. I missed y'all too, y'all. It was so hard. It was rough. I tried to pop on Twitter, but between Twitter, Karen Reed kind of keep up with Diddy, I was just like, you know what? Let me wait till I'm stable because I was moving so much today.
Yeah, it was
early today.
Huh?
Or ended early today?
Just a little after, but not really, because it actually really ended late. She let the jury go early, like 3:30ish, but she did not. But she kept them because she had to do the voir dire. So no, it didn't end till after 4 today, actually, because
after 4? Okay.
4, yeah, because she had to, she had to get to it. It was a lot, but what they did do is AJ's direct was before lunch.
That was before lunch.
It was before lunch. He was done. Like, he had hit all of those points, showed all of that data, broke all of that down, and ran back to it and ran back through it real quick before lunch.
Oh, yeah, Montrese. I heard they're looking for Gina. I don't think they're going to find Gina. Thank you so much, Latasha. I don't think they're going to find Gina. So DeSoger was a great witness, is what I'm hearing.
He was a great witness.
Enjoy it. I'm
even better
with him and Hank.
He was even better on cross.
Even better on cross is.
He was even better on cross because he was even more professional. It was to the point where Hank was clearly by himself. He was hurling insults. Hank had a bunch of, since you're not specialized in phones, Since you think you, he even said, what did he say, y'all? He said, do you think you know something? Like, I mean, like, Hank started.
Wait. T, was he loud like when they did the Arca?
He was loud. He was loud as soon as he started his cross. Loud and hurling insults. I guarantee there were more than 5 times where objections were thrown because since you're not certified in mobile forensics, since you don't know anything about phones. And so what he kept trying to get at with the whole you're not certified in accident reconstruction, which I thought was, okay, you tried to pull one, but it didn't land the way you wanted to, because why does he have to be certified in accident reconstruction when yours lied about the math degree that they needed to do these calculations? So,
yeah, this is, y'all, when I tell you, and I hate this so bad, y'all. Listen, I got to the house. I think the movers were moving boxes in. Baby, I'm sitting down trying to watch court, but I couldn't focus because it was too much going on.
Friend, yeah, you gotta sit down and watch.
Jeez, mom, just let it go. Let it go. I can't believe you're still trying to watch court. Let it go.
He was so rude.
This first day, no. So
he was so rude, and the more rude he got, the more professional the Sogra got. Really? And so it made him look like a kid throwing a tantrum. It really did. It made him look like a kid throwing a tantrum. I have never in life seen anything like that. The only thing I could think, and I think I even said it in a video, like I felt bad for Hank. The only thing I can think is, sir, I hope somebody at that table can tell the signs of a stroke. Because he's getting ready to stroke up out of here. He's getting ready to have a pressure problem. And all I kept thinking all day is, Hank, this is the first witness. Like, you got the case to go. You crashed.
You got more witnesses to go. You can't go like this every time.
Spiraling.
Okay, hold on. We had a super chat. Shataka said, and how was Hank doing that to a man with a degree when he was the one when he has one that had no degree?
Let me tell you something. That part didn't even matter to me. What mattered to me so bad is when he kept trying to go to those 5 points, those calculations, and he kept saying you wouldn't have all of those up there, right? You wouldn't have all of those data points up there if that analysis is wrong. You took information and you're trying to say it's infotainment to iPhone calculations when it's really iPhone to iPhone. And he was saying, no, I'm going by what was in the report. It was presented as infotainment to iPhone, so that's what I put in my report. Wait. But if it was iPhone to iPhone, then that means you're wrong.
I'm sorry, baby. They being messy in this chat. Thank you for the super chat, Jaleesa. I appreciate it. Thank you for the super chat. But are you telling me that the Sogra is testifying absolutely about what he was given, and Hank is questioning him about his resources when his experts are the resources?
That never landed. It hovered all day. It never landed. That you're attacking him. This was set up so smooth. When I thought it was absolute strategy to keep Trooper Paul's information out by not calling him. If you thought that was strategy, this right here, where you cannot attack this man without attacking your own witnesses, you look crazy. You look absolutely crazy. So he went, and not only is he saying, well, if it's iPhone to iPhone data, then you're wrong. That means your calculations are wrong. And he said, yeah, that would remove like 4 of those results, but it was presented as infotainment to iPhone. You keep saying is that, do you know if it's infotainment to iPhone? He said, no, I don't know.
People said it.
He said, no, I don't know. He said, right, because you didn't do your own work. He said, I just know what was presented in there. So when AJ gets up there and confirms for everybody that this wasn't a typed presentation, what he over here barking about is a screenshot. Sir, it's a screenshot. So he didn't even retype the information. This is straight out of their thing. And you keep trying to swear it's iPhone to iPhone, because the only thing you can pull up and stick it to him about is the fact that he's not mobile forensics. And he said he wasn't. That's what he got to with
certification.
That's what he kept saying. Well, you have a specialty in EDR, but you don't have a subspecialty in mobile forensics, and Shannon does. But Shannon don't have anything
now. No, he is no. He could have said Welcher. He trying to argue about Shannon?
Baby.
He needs to stop mentioning Shannon's name. Shannon is gone.
He told him he needs to compliment Shannon. Thank Shannon. They wouldn't have this information without Shannon.
What's he saying that for real?
No, y'all, would y'all tell Mel he really said this stuff?
Here, tell Terry plug for you. What he Hank, really said?
Look, they said Hank is Chloe reincarnated. That's how
it's going so fast right now in his two chats. I'm trying to catch.
Somebody just said Hank is Chloe reincarnated. He was that aggressive today.
There it is. I got it. Thank you, Bears. Yo.
He really went this far.
No. And I think because I'm starting to believe, thank you for the super chat, guys. Thank y'all. Y'all, the chat is like really fast today. But why would he say that?
Oh, baby, he didn't stop there. Then he said, do you know why Shannon had to go back in and make another report? Like basically blaming it on him.
Why we gonna die on the Shannon Hill?
Listen, I said if Shannon had any sense, he was sliding down that shower wall in despair, and that bang was on the other wall. He said, right, didn't Burgess do a great job?
Burgess do a great job? Wait a minute. Thank you for the super chat. Shataka said, he said, since I am balding, I would trust a man with a bang any day.
He died there. He died there. He went there and gave his own life. He went there and stayed there.
I don't like Welcher. Did not like Welcher, baby. But Shannon. So what do you think the jury is thinking if you're hanging everything on Shannon?
Well, my thing is the jury just saw you toss the ME under the bus for Welcher.
They some alkies. T, can I ask you a question? Just on some real, do you think our chat, it's okay that we drink the way we drink? Because I be seeing shot glasses in the chat. Take a shot every so often. What's going on with this chat?
This day was that type of day. You're gonna be taking shots watching court.
It's the coolest chat. Thank you for the super chat. Thank you, Newton. Niara.
Listen.
If I decide to hang from the chandelier, I'll be sure to record it for you guys, okay?
Lord.
But
he died on that hill. He's on that hill.
Shannon Hill. Shannon.
It got so bad that finally, after AJ got up there on the redirect and said, hey, you didn't type any of this. You didn't do any of this. You didn't put one iota of anything. All you did was clarify this. And you came to this conclusion. Because at first he was trying to say he was double dipping by adding 3 seconds to where 3 seconds was already at. And he had to keep trying to explain to Hank. Hank kept trying to say that when he said that 3 seconds wasn't accounted for, so he did the calculations with and without the 3 seconds. Then he had to say, I wrote papers about Toyota and their EDRs and things of that nature. So since he
said what? He wrote it?
He was the lead author on papers about the speed, the EDR, and all that with Toyotas. DeSogra was. So DeSogra's like, I'm telling you right now that 3 seconds, I accounted for it because it's in the report and I'm clarifying the report. But I also did it without, because I don't know one damn Toyota that has a 3 second anything. And I don't know if it was just that Lexus, because I've never known a Toyota to have a 3 second buffer or delay with the info.
Wait.
Yes, friend.
So the 3 seconds is made up?
He said he won't say it's made up. He knows it's obviously something to do with that particular Lexus they bought. But since they never tested Karen Reed to see if hers has a 3-second or any other car to see if it has a 3-second, he's just going to go with the 3-second because they said it's there. But he also did it without the 3-second because he don't know where they pulling their numbers from. So he said, if you're starting at the infotainment, then there's no reason to add a 3 seconds. But if the infotainment is not the start point, and you got to find a way to marry those two and reconcile those numbers and make them the same, you got to go back to the VCH, which starts when you hit the key button on. So you have to add the 3 seconds. So you can't have it both ways.
So I'm gonna go back to my original question. And yes, y'all, I'm struggling over here because it's 400 in my chat. It's probably 400 or 500 in Ms. J's chat. Y'all talking about you slowed the chat down. I am trying my best to put some chats up, but I know combined there have to be about 800 people in here right now. So
oh goodness,
I'm sorry. Y'all talking about the chat is slowed down. Not enough, okay? Not enough. And y'all told me that I now have to put a shot and a half, but I think I may have put 2 shots in my drink, okay? So I'm doing the best I can. Thank you so much, Lizzie, for gifting 5 Millionaire Mail memberships.
Listen, they have had
super chat. She said
some over here.
$8 back. Rich Friday in the bougie chat. Y'all a bunch of drunks, though. No shit. We have fun over here, okay? Is this the lawyer you know, chat? All I see is super chats. Y'all cutting up on a Friday.
Oh,
y'all cutting up on a Friday, but I want to say this. Speaking of the lawyer you know, the lawyer you know said something that I think you're making me feel happen today. He said you never want to get into a fight with an expert about their expert work, especially if you can't back it up. Especially if you can't back it up. Thank you, Ronnie.
Well, my thing is, I still feel like there's even a caveat to that, because at this point you weren't arguing with your expert. You weren't arguing with an expert. You were arguing with your expert, and they weren't there to speak back for you. So he didn't even realize that every time he attacked an analysis, every time he attacked a number, every time he tried to say that something was or wasn't done, that wasn't his work. He never put anything on it. He never, and the crazy thing, that was the smoothest thing I've never seen and never would have thought of. But now after court, I figured out it was the cherry on top. He never wrote a report.
Who? DeSogra?
DeSogra never wrote a report. He only made a presentation.
He only made presentation based off their reports?
Their screenshots, and put them to, he only took screenshots to put together so we can see it all side by side. And understand
side by side, like me and you side by side. I'm DeSogra. I mean, I'm Shannon and you DeSogra.
Oh no, add another one. Welcher, DeSogra.
First of all,
and said at the beginning that, hey, I ain't even gonna say that much about Welcher because it's clear that everything he did was based off of Burgess, so I'll stick to Burgess. But he still used some of Welcher's points, but the ones that didn't match.
Well, Mariah, if you watch this, baby, this is why I watch court. It's entertaining. I tell y'all this all the time. Never thought watching trials would be this much fun, this entertaining. We would learn this much. I didn't know what a text stream was. Okay.
She said it, y'all. She said it. Baby, last week they taught us about text streams and infotainment and all these terms that we just thought was just so engineering, so scientifico, right?
Yeah.
He got up there and he's like, can you explain to the jury what infotainment is? He said, oh, that's just a generic term for that screen in the middle of your car that pops on. That's a lay term in their business.
What?
Shots were fired at the beginning. Do you hear me?
Term in their business.
He said infotainment just means that screen up there in the front of your car that turn on. Information and entertainment. It's just a little conjunctive word there, just a little smash it together. It's just information and entertainment. just pops on. Just something in your car. Just that little thingy.
So it's nothing.
Wow, Virgin had this infotainment module. You got to go in and get it out. And he talking about the radio. Talk about that. He talking about the radio. He talking about your screen in your car. When it pops on, where your radio and the Bluetooth and turn this on, that's the infotainment. Had us out here looking for modules and busting the car apart.
Are y'all telling me that the infotainment system was the damn screen in the car? Why the hell he didn't say that?
So that's why the 3-second delay, because you turn your car on, then your screen got to pop. Wait,
it's the screen, T.
Oh, shots fired in the beginning. He just said that, man.
Shalon said CarPlay.
Mm-hmm.
Wait a minute. Hold up, Lizzie. Lizzie cutting up in the chat today. Thank you, Lizzie. You better put the drinks down. Don't come here like kids talking about your bank call you tomorrow. Because you cutting up in here today. Don't come in here talking about your bank that called you. My bank called me. They shut my card off. Thank you for the memberships. And if you've received any membership, please tell my girl Lizzie thank you in the chat. Thank you so much. Now back to this fool. You mean to tell me I sat through all of that testimony thinking I was just, I wasn't smart enough to the whole time we talking about the screen on the computer, on the car.
Mm-hmm. Where all your information and entertainment is. Infotainment.
I'm sorry, but now I feel dumb because it makes sense. Info.
Hey, we sit up here to what is it? What?
Like, damn, I should have. I didn't know I was gonna have to go to IT class to figure out what they talking about.
I'm sitting here like, what am I missing? We ain't missed nothing, friend. We went too far. We was overthinking something.
We were overthinking it, right? Overthinking
something, and then he's sitting here putting it together like you got to find the variant every time something come off the infotainment.
My bad, Kiss. I didn't mean to pop. I didn't mean to bring you up, friend. Sorry. Okay, what other revelations were there today?
The other revelation that we had.
Y'all, I appreciate this so much because y'all just don't know how hard it was for me knowing the defense started today and I couldn't watch. I asked her off screen and then I said, "No, T, let's go live. I'm gonna need you to tell me."
Listen, the other revelation today.
Thank you, pretty.
Was that when they got into the tussle of the redirect, redirect, all that tantrum that Brennan did, and he let that jury leave with the worst possible ending that I would have walked out. I wouldn't come to work on Monday. He finally on his recross did DeSogra say what we were all thinking. Okay. He said, since you don't specialize in phones, they had to keep objecting because he kept throwing little shots like that. He said, since you don't specialize in phones and you don't know if this is the infotainment.
Wait, Bev let him do this?
Objections were flying, but he kept saying, at first he kept saying, my apologies, my apologies. The last two, he didn't say a fuck thing. He didn't apologize for nothing. He just kept, okay. And kept talking like he was crashing out, spiraling professionally, Fred. He was gone. It was professional at first and it got real personal. But as he got to the bottom of his spiral, I'm talking about he 2 seconds from Satan's pinky toe. Okay. He is in hell. He looks at DeSogra. DeSogra sees that he's disheveled. Okay. DeSogra is now starting to get a little smirk. Like, got you, bitch. Okay. Yeah, okay. You done lost it. He says, since you don't know anything about phones, he came back and he said, do you know what the dangerous thing is about and they said, objection. Like, what's dangerous? You know what the difficult thing is? They said, objection. He said, do you know why it's difficult? There's difficulty in just giving your opinion and criticizing some work you didn't do.
He told DeSogra?
Yes, he came off the bench like this. Like, okay, like after when he came to recross. This is how he got up after the recross, after AJ pointed out that this was a screenshot. You didn't type this in. You didn't touch anything of theirs. Matter of fact, you don't even have a fucking report. Why? Because you didn't need it. You was reading their report. So after he comes off the bench like that and about 3 or 4 objections fly, he said, what did you do? Like, you didn't do nothing of your own. You didn't buy a Lexus. You didn't do any tests. You didn't. I said
they didn't spend millions because they don't have the taxpayers' money to spend, Hank.
Oh, baby. Oh, baby. He said, what did you do? He said, I used expert reports.
You're experts.
To come to a conclusion. He said, so if the analysis was wrong, then that means you were wrong. He said, absolutely. Like Brennan didn't even realize. He was so, do you realize that you were there? And then he said, so if you got it wrong, then that means your answers are wrong. He said, absolutely, you would be right. He said, because you didn't do anything yourself. He said, I didn't. He said, so you don't know if those are the infotainment, the iPhone numbers, or iPhone.
He said infotainment because
this is what he was saying. Because Brandon is saying that you can't understand this. He said, you just looked at a report and criticized it. Did you talk to me?
Did you what did that talk to you for? This ain't your area. Who talking to Shannon?
Did you talk to Shannon Burgess? It got so
I'm
bad.
Bringing up Shannon, like see if I'm the jury,
it got so bad that Hank said, so you in this 3 seconds, you have the mistaken belief that this 3 seconds is wrong. He said, objection, like the mistaken belief. He said, so you believe that this 3 seconds, and he goes in and out about these 3 seconds. And when he does, the Soger says, he said, so you don't know. You didn't go verify this information. You could have did your own work, but you didn't verify the accuracy. He said, I didn't.
So now, but here's the thing: did Hank realize that in saying all of that, you're now saying that your expert
progressively got worse as it went on? He got worse and worse and worse. So finally, AJ gets up there and gets down and damn dirty. AJ gets up there and says, "Are you a truthful person? Were you truthful when you said you weren't in mobile?
Are you a truthful person after Shannon lied?"
Listen, he said, exactly. He said, are you a truthful person? Were you truthful about not being having a specialty in mobile forensics? You were truthful about your EDR stuff. You were truthful about the papers you wrote and what was peer reviewed. You were truthful about, what about your bachelor's degree? Were you truthful about that? Truthful about your master's? Truthful about your certifications? Would you lie about your credentials?
I miss AJ because I just miss him. So when I tell y'all, I am so ready to go.
AJ went all the way there.
Oh, I'm so ready to go watch
whether or not he was truthful. And he ended that motherfucker with, what did you want to do for this jewelry? He said, I just wanted to take all of the information and put it together plainly in slides that they could understand so this could be clarified.
Now, that's a Burgess word.
He said, and were you able to do that? He said, I tried my best to put it all together. He said, and what was the foundation of your analysis?
Your expert.
Aperture. He said, aperture.
Your people.
Then he said, and whose information did you rely on? He said, Burgess and Welcher. Bev said, all right, that's it. It's time to go. You're good to go now. I said, oh, Hank, you got to bring him back. You got to bring him back. You going to let him leave like that?
Wait a minute. Let me just ask you so you can do that one more time. And whose information did you rely on?
He said, Burgess and Welcher.
Man, I would have fallen out of
and
my
seat. Said, okay, Mr. Soger, you're all done. That's it. No, sit your ass down.
What'd you say? That's gonna be it for today. I think we might need to call it a day. Let's go.
You wouldn't listen. If I was Hank, everybody be held hostage. Like, who was that? Said, close the doors. Close the doors.
To me.
You can't leave and leave me on that. Yeah, when he said,
Nick in the call said, somebody texted.
Listen, Gemini got it. He said that.
Who?
He said that. AJ said, so if their analysis is wrong, then your analysis is wrong. He said, correct. He said, so garbage in, garbage out.
I didn't know who, y'all, somebody put that on X. I asked the question. I said, I can't watch court. How's it going? Somebody put under my
garbage in.
Garbage.
I said yes. And he said, and what was the foundation for your, and whose information are you relying on? Okay, Mr. DeSogra, that's it. You're on. You let him leave like that. That's the mic drop, baby.
Hold on. Thank you for the super chat, Shataka. Shataka said, AJ said, did you tell the truth? Oh, and when he told the jury that he had to do Shannon's math because he didn't have math,
I'm telling you, I said that today, and somebody wrote me like 4 times. Like, I'm hoping you see this. So I keep watching this video over and over again. Friend, the only thing that I heard the whole time that Brennan was crashing out was, since you got your degree and you know everything. That's all you could hear. Towards the end, that's all you hear. He is crashing out. And when I got off and I tried to explain to my sister exactly what today was, the only thing I can come up with besides Monique was if Higgins would have ever got Karen and found out she was texting somebody else. Whatever you feel like he would have went up in that waterfall and did, that's what it was. What was that? The bar? He said everybody, the hillside. Can you imagine what Higgins would have walked in the hillside and did if he found out Karen was texting somebody else on him? That performance.
I just feel like Higgins. So we won't see Higgins, but the visual in my mind at the moment of him flipping out. Look how he was just at the thought of talking to Karen. What do you think that man was gonna do?
So if he would have actually got Karen and Karen started texting somebody else, the way he would have walked up in that hillside.
They said, please, yes, y'all know I can't move forward without watching this for myself. I have to see it because I'm gonna feel lost. It doesn't feel right. I'm gonna feel lost if I don't live stream it. The problem is, am I live streaming it tonight, or am I gonna wait till in the morning? That's the only thing. But I'll figure it out by the live. I don't know if y'all see. I keep having to talk off camera. I'm with Kylie, so we'll have to see what Miss Kylie has going on. But y'all know I got to watch it. I can't move forward.
From Shannon to Dr. Welcher to this, it actually made Shannon and Dr. Welcher's information make sense. But then it started to make so much sense that the places that it didn't align stood out like a sore thumb. It stood out like that blue paint. And it was so big.
When Dr. Welcher, when he got off the stand, so many people were saying they need to call like one of their experts. When I saw DeSogra was next, I said, oh, this is perfect, because I think the jury hearing all of this testimony right behind each other would be helpful. So I do think that was a good. That was good.
The other thing that he did outline besides the calculations is that the January report they wrote had 0 events happening when that lock button was pushed. And then magically, when you apply different methodologies based on what you're trying to get, now they did get events to happen where they said the trigger was happening after the button push. But to hear that the numbers were 25 and 30, 2 and 30, and 3 and 30, baby.
I just think that the hearing 25.
I don't want to hear the rest. I almost forgot the main crash out. Hank looked this man in the face. He said the data is only 10 seconds. You don't know what was happening before those 10 seconds or after those 10 seconds. You don't have the real life event.
Yeah, you
You
don't
got
know.
the texture.
What we talking about?
Hold that right there. Hold that right there. Then he said, do you know what was happening with John O'Keefe after that text stream event, after that backing event stops? He said no. And I'm thinking to myself, neither do you. Do you know he sealed his own coffin? I mean, opened that bitch and jumped in it and took the dirt with him and said, you don't know if John was crawling. You don't know if he was walking. You don't know. Hold that right there. Then he had the nerve to say, did you know there's movement with John's phone even after that event? You ain't never acknowledged that event this whole entire trial, that phone moved even more. Them steps, them 84 feet. So now all of a sudden you got so much revenge across your eyes. You so damn blind that you didn't acknowledge an event that your trigger clearly does not touch.
You mean to tell me the man came like a Baptist preacher? He said, you don't know if he was crawling. You don't know if he was walking. You don't know what the man was doing. You don't know what he was doing. Why would you say that when you...
Why would you acknowledge event of movement of that phone when that phone was found underneath John? And that's a trigger that you never in your life have acknowledged this whole trial. You've been at the push button.
This too much. This too much for me. She said, thank you for the super chat. She said, Hank acted and looked like a fool. He objected every other word, but when he said John was still moving, I hollered. I know. This is what I love and hate about this community, right? And when I say community, because I'm a Jay sayer too. So, you know, Miss J is one of my people I go to. And I hate the fact that now y'all have made this so good. I have to hurry up and watch it.
Friend, I couldn't have came up with this myself. I will say that this event alone, those recaps were over 10,000 before 30 minutes. Like those from what was happening today, people were looking for recaps because people were I don't even get on X, and mine was lighting up with Karen Reed updates. Like you
gotta stop playing with X. You gotta stop playing with X now, friend. You got.
I'm gonna have to people on there. People be tagging me stuff.
The people love you on X too. Stop leaving the.
I'm gonna get on there one day. I said I'm gonna start tweeting during this because that's how I can get little frustrations out. Because today I was screaming because I couldn't believe what was happening. Because I'm thinking to myself, he didn't just say that. That's not what he said. He did not just say, what if the numbers are wrong? He didn't say that. He's not saying that. After a while,
man, Mariah's gonna be without my screaming.
It's friend, you ain't gonna be able to. You're gonna have to pause it. You're gonna have to get up and walk away because you can't take it. You can't take it. There's no way. And it always hovers. It's always hanging right here, hovering, that you cannot attack this man without attacking your own experts. He didn't write a report. He didn't, even the information he took is screenshots. He retype it. He didn't fudge a number. And on one slide, he added a word, but he put a green box around it to show that Shannon Burgess had written all of this out, provided the actual calculation that he was finna do, and it came out with 26 seconds after the movement was 26 seconds after the trigger, but he don't have the word after.
26 seconds after?
Yes. And what he ended up doing is when he wrote it out, he didn't put the word after. So he went through and redid the calculation that Shannon had listed to show that this would be 26 seconds after, and then put this is the time minus that time would equal 26 seconds. And then the fact that he's putting everything at a certain time, that's not the time of the trigger. it's the time that the trigger recording is ending. So every time we say, oh, the trigger ended at this time, no, the trigger was dead smack in the middle. We have an exact time for the trigger. Think about it. The trigger happens. It gives you the recording of the 5 seconds before it and the 5 seconds after. So when we're talking about 10 seconds, that's just the recording of that trigger. But we know the exact time the trigger happened because the recording is 5 seconds before and 5 seconds after. So he said, if you want to do the calculation based off of the trigger, then you have the point in the middle. That's the trigger time. But all of his calculations are at the end of the recording of the trigger. So if you want that 26 seconds to be a true 26 seconds, you need to add that ending 5 seconds. So now we up to 31. There you go. Now we at the 31. That 26 seconds it turned. So think about it. That 10 seconds, the trigger's in the middle. We get 5 before it, 5 after it.
But the trigger is in the middle.
Trigger is that thing in the middle. So when he add them extra 5 seconds and say the trigger ends here at 12:31:48,
he's like, no.
End of the recording. That's not the trigger. He said, but he did that the whole time, so I'll go with it. But if you want to go by the time of the trigger, then it's not 26 seconds. You got to add them 5 where it was still recording that he didn't account for. That makes that 26 seconds, now 31 seconds. But he also got that information from somewhere else and not the infotainment. So if you want to add it, if you want to make it match the infotainment, if you want to take it from the infotainment and make it match the other system that starts automatically, now you got to add 3 more seconds. Now that 26 seconds is now 34 seconds because you didn't account for the 5. You didn't account for the 3.
So basically, you're saying all of that to say is that the Commonwealth witnesses got on the stand and they lied.
They told us our radio dashed.
I'm mad that you keep bringing it up because I'm never going to forgive Hank.
You gonna get in the car and say,
"Fuck that damn infotainment system," and I'm not gonna forgive myself for not putting 2 and 2 together and getting 4 infotainment. Damn,
how we not get this little compound word?
Baby, let me tell you something. I'm gonna hop in the car and don't
say you were tickled this morning by it. I was so, because Jennifer, I felt so goofy. I felt so goofy this morning, and then I felt even goofier because I'm like, am I missing it again? Because how is Hank not understanding what this sounds like? So then I started to feel like infotainment all over again because I'm like, okay, maybe I'm missing something. Hank is pretty passionate. Maybe he knows something I don't. Then after a while, I was like, Hanky, this ain't it. Hank gonna be working at the Pank. You better stop it. You better quit while you ahead, baby. Or you be quoting off.
I'm gonna be at the Pank.
You gonna be at the Pank. Talk about Uncle Clifford Rule 347. Hey, girl, I had to do something strange for a piece of thing.
Never go in Massachusetts and think you can be AJ. Okay, don't listen. It's gonna be something foolish. Something foolish. Listen. Thank you.
Oh my God. They have absolutely.
I cannot wait though, T. I didn't know it was this crazy. And like I said, you need to stop neglecting.
I gotta get in there. I'm gonna get on there. I'm gonna make it.
Give the Karen Reed universe some love on X. It's hilarious. I do like it. Right before I go to bed, I'm trying to read up what people have said throughout the day because we are on like 4 different platforms. So I go back before I go to bed. I'm on X, like, okay, let me see what the comments are. And today you're helping me understand what they were talking about on X. So I didn't know the garbage in, garbage out. I said, what the hell are they talking about?
AJ said that shit for real, friend.
Now why would it stop me like that? I said, okay, what the hell are they talking about? Okay, cool.
Hey, AJ said that for real, friend. He said that for real. Hank crashed out. Aunt Bev did save him in the end, but I don't think she saved him. She saved Hank. She tried to stop it, but she couldn't stop it. And the reason why she couldn't stop it is because it was Hank that was crashing out. So she couldn't object for him, and he can't object to his damn self. So it was like she had to let a lot of it ride. She had to let a lot of it ride. There was nothing else you can do but object for him.
Come on now.
Unless you had, unless somebody else at the prosecution's table, unless Lolly objected to Hank for him, like, come here, let me talk to you.
Lally. And I know Lally probably saying, I told your dumb ass. Why you think we didn't want to take it? He probably just saying, y'all remember that little meme? I told Boosie's daughter, I told y'all.
Yeah, this was bad. I felt if nothing more, I just don't know where Hank can go from this, because professionally, probably what the jury expected to see of him professionally, he literally looked like, okay, friend, I'm gonna tell you what I said, and then somebody had to remind me that I said, because sometimes stuff come out my mouth.
Yeah,
I don't be realizing I said it until people start.
I like when stuff just come out your mouth sometimes, so it's okay.
Friend, I said he looked like Coach Klein on the water boy when he got depressed about Red Bull U and they was losing, and he was on there them heels going. He had them heels on. That's what Frank. That's what Hank did today. He was Coach Klein. He was Coach Klein.
Thank you for the super chat, pretty. Thank you.
He couldn't get it. Was bad. It was so bad, Frank. It was so bad.
Montresa, I agree. I agree. Montresa said the Lord, even thinks Hank is trying to lose this case. At this point, that's what it's giving, y'all.
At this point, I don't like. This was their first witness. What you gonna do with the rest of them? What you gonna do with the rest of them? Like you literally lost.
He's already had Arthur. Arthur sat there like he was a fool. Arthur looked at him like he was a fool. So what do you think?
Exactly how the Soger was looking at him, because I think it took a second for it to hit the Soger, because the Soger had to be thinking, it can't be this easy. That can't be what you ask. You're not asking me if they right. You're not asking me if I'm wrong, are you? You wouldn't do nothing that. I guarantee that the Soger planned for every question but that. There's no planet where he would have thought he was worse than it. It was worse than Hilton's closing. I'm telling you, it was.
Hell no. Wait. Y'all are telling me Hank today
crashed out
was worse than Hilton. Hilton doing all of this on her cross with the red on.
He did.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Hilton's closing.
I can do nothing but picture Hilton in a red suit, just yelling and cussing up a storm.
Spiraling. He was spiraling. There was nothing on God's green earth that I could even come up with. She looked like she had been watching too many movies. Wait
a minute. Y'all wasn't giving red like Elmo, but I don't fucking giggle. Wasn't giving that. Thank you for the super chat, double A spill. Give Niecy,
baby,
please.
I don't know.
Chuck E. Cheese, if you can. Kylie, they're sending you super chats on my live stream.
I feel like it was worse.
If you let me watch the show with them tonight, I can take you to Chuck E. Cheese. She said, They sent you a super chat on my live stream. Say thank you. She said thank you. Look at y'all, she like this.
But
yeah, that's exactly what she did to you. This is just too much for me to take, though.
Yeah, it was absolutely the craziest. It was absolutely the craziest thing I've ever really.
Read that T. Haas to you, X. X gotta be the simplest. I think
don't ever be on there.
And you're gonna stop it. You're gonna go on there after today, after the live tonight. You're gonna go on there. Go on there right now. Hey y'all, Miss J checking in. Say something. Let me know you're live on X.
Let me tell you something. Somebody said I don't think it was worse than look.
That's the win, Kylie. Kylie, they said.
This is the only reason why I say that it was worse than Hilton. Look how long it took Hilton to get to that point.
Yeah.
It was a year. It was all her witnesses playing in her face. Woody told her she stank. They didn't talk about her clothes, talked about her shoes, talked about her knees. Like, look how long it took Hilton to get there. This was day one, witness one for Hank.
Witness one, day one, witness
one.
one.
That's the only reason why I say it's way worse. Because what did Hank go through to get here? Like, what did he go through?
I think Hank's issue may be I think they say he's a defense attorney at heart, and that may be his issue. That may be the reason he's struggling like this. And I'm telling y'all right now, I'm gonna send Kylie's dad the money. No, he's not trying to take it.
Don't do her funds, okay?
Yeah, I can't wait for her dad to tell him. He gonna say what?
You just send him the timestamp and say go to this.
Go to this timestamp. So you don't think I'm lying on your child. You don't think I'm lying on your child. I can't wait to see him, child. He gonna be like, what?
Oh God.
I forgot y'all because don't like my nephew.
Yeah, Hank
her money. You heard what
Hank wouldn't be able to do that. Hank wouldn't be able to do that. Somebody said, can you imagine Hank trying to cross or even direct Woody? He wouldn't have made it. Not after today.
Read that a minute. Woody?
Yeah, they said, could you imagine Hank trying to cross or even direct Woody? I said he
would have sent Hank.
He would have lost it. They'd have fought. They'd have fought right there in front of the jury.
Sent him spiraling.
He spiraled so bad. I actually said I felt bad for him because I was like, I don't even think it never hit him. I thought after lunch, surely he was going to think, or somebody was going to say, what the hell are you doing? When you say that, you got to find another way to ask this, because when you ask this, you're attacking the information, and this is not his information. You have to find. No, he came back and doubled down on it and got worse and worse and worse as you muted.
My bad. Why would you double down talking about your witnesses? I just cannot.
Never clicked.
Would do that.
It never clicked. And the thing about it is, the soaker's done. So there's no, when he get back on the stand Monday, it's done.
He's done.
It's done. They finished the SOGRA today. Direct, cross, redirect, recross, redirect. It's done. He's done. And you let him leave on the note of garbage in, garbage out. And whose information did you rely on? You let it. And Bev, all right, Mr. DeSoger, you're done. That's it. Then you can go. Like, you just gonna let him leave like that? That should have been the crash out for everybody.
What did she tell him? Tell them you're all set. Like what, man? What are you talking about?
Listen, he crashed out so bad. It got to the point, it was so bad that you had to think at some point he's going to take a break and he's going to think about this. Break went like 20-30 minutes. They come back. He's still going. I'm like, okay, on lunch, somebody gonna tell him, hey, this ain't. You
need to stop.
You ain't gonna, or it's gonna click. Like, but even if it was clear after break that he didn't get what he was doing, but it was very clear what he was doing. So after that, I'm like, certainly on lunch, somebody's gonna say to him, we've got to strategize real quick over lunch and figure out how you can ask this a different way, because this is not his information. This is not his information. So attacking, saying that he can't possibly understand the calculation because he doesn't know the origin of the numbers. So you're going to tell me I can't do 1 + 2 because I don't know where the 1 came from? Get the fuck out of here. So what you going to do? Go to your math teacher? Now the kids going to go to the math teacher and say, I don't know the origin of this number, so I can't do these problems. Like, you sound crazy. You just made it seem like even an engineer couldn't possibly do this without Shannon holding his hand. So therefore,
Shannon, don't piss me off.
So therefore, the jury, what the hell are they supposed to do with the report? And friend, he kept saying, well, you don't have this information. He was like, well, they didn't test for it. He was like, but you don't know if they tested for it. He said, well, it's not in the report. Friend, let me tell you how he crashed out. He said,
yes, Taylor.
Don't try to blame Aperture because you don't have the information. He lost it. He was crashing, friend. I mean, crashing and burn.
He's so dramatic. This is why we're friends. Why are we so dramatic?
Friend, y'all, will y'all tell him? Will y'all tell him that's exactly how he did it? Friend, will you tell him?
He did that with Arca T. He did it with Arca, so I know you're not lying.
He said, when he said that, I said, but if Aperture is wrong, like if he wrong, so are they. Like, and I was like, you can't blame it on them. He got so mad every time he said, well, they didn't test for that, so no, I don't have that information. No, you could have verified the accuracy. You could have did it. So you wanted them to verify the accuracy?
Yes.
Like it never landed, friend. No matter which way he asked it, he attacked them every single direction. It wasn't even the same way every time where he just wasn't getting it. It's like somebody asking the same question 7 or 8 different ways and still not understanding that he's still getting the same result. It was so bad when he yelled, "Don't blame Aperture for your office." I said, they didn't test it.
I tell you, I cannot.
But to imply, though, even bigger than that, to imply that you don't know. This is Proctor from Power. You don't know if it was tested. So are you implying to the jury that the information in the dang on report is at best incomplete? That there were things tested that aren't there in the report? So if an engineer can't even make sense of this report with their degree, a report made by a man, math done by a man lying about a math degree. If an engineer can't make sense of it, as a juror, I'm going to think, what the hell are you sitting this back here with me for?
What's going on? And that's
what you want me to do with it?
You telling me that today Miss DeSogra came off, you can understand what he was saying. Like, oh, okay, this is what they were trying to say. It's terrible for the Commonwealth.
The one thing I will always say is I will never forget in the 4th grade, we had a meteorologist come in and teach us how to calculate Fahrenheit to Celsius. And people were like, why would you ever teach that to 4th graders? Like, they're 10 years old. They're never going to get it. And this man made it so freaking plain that we got it, our whole class. Nobody could believe it. The news came because they could not believe that these 4th graders were doing this. Mm-hmm. He did that. He made it so plain. I have not seen one comment today. And I look, I wasn't looking for, oh, Welcher was this and Welcher wasn't that. Burgess wasn't that. I looked to see who was confused. Not one person I saw today has said that they don't get that information. Shannon and Welcher included.
I will tell y'all, the little bit that I have scrolled, I hadn't seen anything bad.
Nobody's confused. But the crazy thing is, he's not explaining his information. And nobody is confused, which means everybody got every last one of those flashing red lights where it didn't align, where it didn't make sense, and he's breaking it down. So this time minus that time equals 26 seconds. And if we're not using this, then we have to account for those 5 seconds. So it would either be 26 or 34. Like, he crashed out so bad when DeSogra said his May 8th report has a range of uncertainty. He said, well, since you know his state of mind and think he was uncertain, and it's like,
I can hear him. If you think he was uncertain, oh God, his voice is so annoying.
And DeSogra said, I didn't say he was uncertain. I'm saying a range is uncertainty. We don't know. We don't have anything definitive. And he was like, oh, because I mean, like, he was so, it was so bad. For a while, I just had to stare. Somebody even commented today, said he even got Miss J speechless. I had no words. I had no idea. I thought Ashton Kutcher was going to pop out because there's no way Hank did not. All day. And maybe as simple as 1 + 1 is 2. I'm telling you, you will not walk away from anything that Shannon or Welcher did and not understand it before lunch.
Oh my God, you just made me remember something. They can let Welcher come back. Now you just made me remember Welcher has to come back and rebuttal what
my thing is, if you want, if you bring Welcher back after this, you will absolutely alienate yourself from the jury. They will definitely never forgive you for that. Especially now that they know, because it's not that another expert was able to explain their stuff and make it plain. This expert went and made these people know that not only is it possible to make this stuff plain enough for me to understand, but you can get it done before lunch with a late start and an extra about half-hour break that felt a morning break that felt like a lunch.
And Shannon was on that stand for 2 days.
And Welcher was right behind him, and everybody was just as equally confused. But then you put this man on here, and with a late start, extra lunch, and before you go to lunch, you understand? And to be honest, I'll say even less time than that, because those rebuttals was going back and forth, but you just didn't need it. It just didn't need to be that, and it showed it. So you bring him back, and this Dr. Space Cadets talk about going to Pluto again, then I'm gonna be like, you know what?
Alfred Welcher was so terrible. Trying to give all these examples, it just didn't help at all. It did not help at all. It was actually annoying that he just kept doing it.
It was so annoying to make me feel like May 8th gave you one singular result, and it was actually 9. It's very annoying to apply every last methodology you had and get 30 results, and you ain't even get half of them in your direction. I mean, even if you take 2 of the 3 sets of results, you still only get 5 of 30. What are you like? Get out of my face.
Get out of what Hank's gonna do, child. The way that you guys are describing court today, I can't predict what Hank is going to do. And I'm again saying, I think he really wants Karen out. He wants her to get that not guilty, because why else would he be doing?
I don't know what he's trying to do, but I think no matter what, he wants this to be over. And I think he went somewhere, came to the conclusion that it would be more likely for it to be a not guilty than a guilty, and he just going with that, because there's no way you performed like that and showed your natural ass like that.
Miss Cherie said it was very annoying for a grown man not following the rules. Close that damn laptop.
But to see somebody out there talking so fluently, plainly, down to a 3rd grade level, making it that plain, didn't have one smart watch, didn't have them stapled papers wrestling together, ain't repeating what you saying and why you saying it, writing it down, hair disheveled, face look all confused, tapping on another computer, trying to find another one, calculator pulled out. Sir, what were you calculating? Because you didn't finish none of those calculations.
I think for me, not even watching something that I know that Alessi got out during his cross-examination was the additional step for the math, right? So you guys telling me today that DeSober did the additional steps, to me, is a big win, because I kept wondering, why did he stop?
Well, the thing is, not only the additional steps, but every piece of methodology they pulled out their ass, he did the steps completely with every piece of methodology for every calculation. So he didn't just finish the calculation here and finish it. He said, okay, sometimes you use this, sometimes you use that, and sometimes you do that. He said, I'm going to take all 3 of those methodologies and show you the answers if you to use one or the other for every equation.
So my friend just was out here doing extra work. I know he got a lot of gold stars in school. He just doing extra work.
He one of those people, it has to make sense. It has to make sense. And so the fact that, and I really believe that, because the fact that maybe if he solved for one methodology and it didn't make sense to him, the answer could have been made sense if he tried the other ways. He was gonna make sure that answer didn't make sense, no way, shape, or form before he said it didn't.
I can't wait to see him. And y'all, I can't say that it's only one host. Miss J does have another job. It's just one host with no job. Baby, this chat is besties about God paying the bills. In Jesus' name, Lord Jesus. In Jesus' name.
Listen. Yeah,
God.
They be working.
Shayla, no, and partly maybe Miss J can speak on that, because I didn't watch court today. I saw a little bit of AJ's motion to dismiss. I actually liked it, but I knew Bev wasn't gonna do it. What did you think about it?
I knew she wasn't gonna do it. And this is when I knew Hank was on some punk ass shit. Excuse my language, but I knew it.
It made my friend.
Listen, this is how you knew, because Hank got up there and he said, I'm not about to get up here and do a closing. In the light most favorable to the state, all they have to do is find that she was intoxicated. And if that was the threshold for this, I know somebody from Ohio said it's normally called a Rule 29. When Weinstein did it, it was looked at as a directed verdict. Here he was calling it a right to not guilt, or requirement for not guilty, or something AJ called it. But basically, knowing that the threshold was just simply to at least find that she was at least intoxicated, so these things could have happened. Mm-hmm. I knew right there it was going to be over.
But here's my pushback. Where did they prove she was intoxicated?
I think he's saying in the light most favorable. So he used the words light most favorable to the Commonwealth and reasonable fact finder. So, and he absolutely stated that we saw her drinking and her own words said she was drinking. So he's using those interludes to say she said it herself. She said this. So it was those interludes, those interviews.
Okay.
By saying, yes, I was drunk. Well, I was a little drunk. Well, I knew not to get on the freeway. So basically he's saying so that OUI manslaughter, that's hers all day long, because we just have to find that she was intoxicated, in which that case everybody was freaking intoxicated.
Hey, Yates said honestly she shouldn't have granted one here.
Yeah, if I don't
know the rules, right?
Then in the light most favorable, and then he said, well, we don't have to. And then he used the intoxication for the OUI manslaughter. For the second degree, he said she didn't have to intend to kill him or want to kill him. It was just that she was there was a plain or strong likelihood that he would have died. And the fact that she used her own words, did I hit him? Did I clip him? This, that, and the other, not from anybody else, but in those interviews. And of course, that last clip.
Okay.
From those interviews.
I say again.
Shut your ass up.
Shut your damn mouth.
Shut up.
Shut your damn mouth.
Because why? And I wondered why she was
doing damn mouth
to bite her in the butt. Now, do I feel like, again, I feel like Hank hopped his own self in the coffin and took a bag of dirt with him, because he was, when that man acknowledged a whole nother trigger that was definitely after, whole nother event that was way after his trigger that he hasn't acknowledged all trial. He's lost.
Shut up. Now, people have said she did the interviews for money, right? And the fact that she has these amazing attorneys, I know it's not cheap. And for that, I'm trying to give her grace. But damn it, some of the stuff, just like that second interview, T, you got to go watch the interview on Boston 25, I think it is. I'll send it to you. We watched it on TikTok Live one day. I thought it was so much better, baby. It was times Karen wanted to say something, AJ would butt in. We don't know. We're not going to do that. And I'm just like, okay, where the hell was AJ for the one that was on Hulu? Where was AJ for the one that was on Hulu? Because I mean, I was like, I did have a few shots, and I was pointing another shot in the. I see. Oh,
It was just
she
absolutely
was talking too damn much. Like
talking too much.
she was talking too much, and some people, and I'm going to say this for those of you that have been on X, okay,
Not at all, Keisha, but
for
they
those
ain't
of you
go get them.
that have been on X telling me, because the clips don't sway me one way or the other because I've seen them all, right? And I do have to be of the mind the jury has not. So for those of you on X telling me those clips are bad, the fact that T is saying they were used today in the
Against
judge's decision,
been the first time I would have ever said, because I didn't think anything of them.
I'm gonna have to concede.
Because I'm not even gonna lie to you, as a juror or as somebody just watching it when she was mocking Peggy. Yeah.
Now,
Like, it looked like she yelled like that. You know what I mean? I look right over at Peggy like, your ass sound like that.
Peggy
Like,
deserved it.
Listen, Peggy today, them lips was tight. That bang was flat. Her shoulders was up like a vulture. She was
Peggy
fit to be
reminds me
tight.
of my mom. Every time I see her sitting over there like this, my mom used to do it all the time. So
She
every time
was
I see her, I'm like, Peg. I'm like, man.
She was fit to be tied, honey. She was not. Today she saw whatever little confidence she had, it popped her balloon today.
Probably because of how bad Hank did.
I think that
she looks like she cusses too. What's that? She looked like she liked to cuss a little.
Yeah, she looked like she say every syllable. She said she looked like she say every word, every syllable. And because shit, motherfucker. Like, yeah, she looked like she do.
She put the ER on it, motherfucker.
She put every letter, every last syllable in that word.
Motherfucker, Hank Brennan.
Yeah, she probably.
I can hear her. I can hear her now on the ride. And John Daddy Man wants to say something. You shut the fuck up now.
Yeah, she's gonna have a hard time. So next, you said the Kelly Deaver. She's supposed to be there first thing in the morning on Monday, and so is Jonathan Diamantis, which is Proctor's friend.
Yeah, I know it.
It's going to be. At this point, Hank got to wish.
Starfish said she may as well take the stand without her yapping. At this point, Karen may as well. But here's the thing, Starfish, though. I do feel like Karen, even though I know we hate some of the things she said, I do feel like the interviews gave her point of view without having to go through a robust cross-examination from the state. I do feel
I think that's the only safe way to say it without having to go through a cross.
She's not going to testify, and I hate, and I wish, and I wait. Is the defense playing their own clips?
I don't know. They have not played any, so I don't know if they plan to play them. But I just think that what she'll
I didn't see that report. Did you see a report? I didn't see a report, but I think the writing was kind
of. Yannetti, I would say Yannetti said you don't tell me to call him. You call him if you want to rebut what I'm talking about. I'm doing this my way. I'm doing this over here. So I figured he don't want to do it. I don't think anybody wants to call Proctor because I would automatically assume that he was going to clam up anyway. If he don't have his job and he's trying to get his job back, the worst thing he do is F that up. So I wouldn't be saying a damn thing.
I think Queen Victoria, I'm just going to say for me, for people who go with the doubt, I don't care what Karen said in those interviews because I go by the Emmy. Karen was drunk, okay? I won't even want to hear what she's saying. I'm going by the Emmy.
Hell, John was drunk.
I'm going to go by Arca, who were hired by the feds. I'm sorry, my baby is howling, y'all. I'm going to go by the feds. I'm going to go by those things. So I don't really care what Karen said, right? Don't care what Karen said. I don't care. I'm looking at the science. I'm looking at the facts. Trooper Proctor, his foolishness. Karen's interviews, I wish she wouldn't have done them, but they don't sway me any kind of way. They just don't.
Yeah, with that, you know, me, I like to cross stuff out. And if two things have the same weight, I don't even consider one or the other. And at this point, I don't want to hear nothing about her being drunk. John was drunk as shit. He was still drunk dead.
All of them was
He
drunk.
was still drunk. Everybody was drunk. Everybody was drunk out of their mind. And even the people that were supposed to hand out the DUIs was just committing fraud, just committing DUIs the whole time. I'm not going to do that. If two things weigh the same, I just throw them both out and go for something else. And at this point, anytime you start throwing your own witnesses under the bus, I'm just going to cross out the two that you use. So you put the ME up there and you try to cross out the ME with Welcher, but then you also try to cross out Welcher with Shannon. I don't want to hear Welcher's anything anymore because you try to use him two different ways. And then Shannon get up there and he can't explain none of his stuff. But now you try to tell me that not even an engineer can possibly understand what he did without him talking them through it. That means it's bullshit. And if not even another engineer can understand what you did in your expert report, that's why it's not peer reviewed. I don't want it. I don't want it.
Thank you, Pretty. Thank you. Yes, guys. If you are not subscribed to myself or Miss J, please do us a favor. She said collapse the chat and hit the bell. Subscribe. I think we both have some really amazing content. We both are characters. You will have a good time, and we have some amazing chat.
We both have some goals going on. Mail's on her.
Wait a minute, Free. Wait. Check in, because I haven't seen it. Where are we on TikTok?
Oh, it just hit. Hold on. It just
Where
hit.
are we on TikTok? Because last week. Oh shit. We almost there.
We hit 98 today.
98,000. If you guys are not what do we call it on TikTok? If you're not following Miss J, she is almost at 100,000 followers on TikTok. Please do now. Go like it. Get off this right now. Well, you know YouTube now. You can swipe up. And go follow my friend.
Yes. Make sure y'all are subscribed everywhere. My page, Mail's page.
Yes, to run us up.
Listen, we both do the commentary. We both do our recaps. We are on the way to 100K on TikTok. We hit our 10K on YouTube, so we put a new goal of 20K. So I think we were getting close to 12.
Thank you, Ari. I'm almost there, y'all. I'm like about 400.
Oh shoot! Wait a minute. Can we get 7 people? 7 people go subscribe on YouTube. 11,993. Okay.
Yes.
11,993. Let's go.
Montresa said, "I saw your dance when the Commonwealth rested." Montresa,
That's the only thing. That was what everybody thought. That's what everybody was feeling.
Life is so hard, y'all. When I tell you, I had a headache that day. That's the only video I got out. The only one, and I'm just happy you guys enjoyed it, though. I'm happy.
AJ did a video today because I said, "Listen, AJ's wife understood the assignment today." I don't know what happened with Brennan. AJ's wife must have understood the assignment because the way AJ came in there and handled that man today, and I'm talking about Brennan, the way he came in and handled that courtroom bath and all. Let me tell you something. She gave him dessert last night, breakfast this morning. That man woke up hearing the Rocky song and came in that bitch because he came in there, garbage in, garbage out. He ended the way he began. Okay. AJ
been sitting back too much. Thank you, Film, for the membership. He been sitting back too much. That's what it is. He was ready to get he been right there, like tag me in. He finally got tagged in. That's all it is.
Kayla, you know what I meant. She said, "Miss." The wild stuff. Listen. In my live today, I bust out laughing and I was just screaming. I couldn't hold it no more because I couldn't believe that Brennan was doing this to himself. He was still drunk dead. You know what I mean? He was at 0.28 behind the eyes. And they was black.
She's Good Glow said I was confused and my moon tune voice. Free the tune stuff. Okay.
Need a lit line. I can't wait to
I just had to tell her. I said, bro, you pushing it. Yeah, I just had to tell bro, you pushing it now. I'm trying to just ignore the giggles. You pushing it.
Made his coffee this morning. I mean, everything. Yeah, she understood the assignment. She understand you don't send that man out the house hungry or horny, and she made sure he was good when he left this moment.
He was
he was whistling Dixie on the way in there. He felt invincible. Okay. He was fine. He was not moved by anything.
Nikki, don't watch the glass, friend. Pick it up.
He was
team over here.
Objection. Listen, I think that he was so cool. I think because everybody was so cool. Like, I'm not even gonna lie, the sober didn't even get warm. Like his neck never even got pink. Like it was just he was just.
Ask you, did he get red? Because you know they always get red. Oh,
nothing. Ain't nobody get red but Brennan. Nobody. Brennan's face was all tight and tense. His jawline looked like he was chewing. Like he was. It was tough. It was tough. I have never in life heard anything like I would have never. If I didn't see it for myself, friend, I wouldn't believe he really did that to himself.
You stand by. It was worse.
Absolutely.
It was worse than Hilton's closing.
Absolutely. I'm going to say absolutely. And the only reason why I'm giving that because Hilton was terrible. Hilton was terrible. But it took Hilton about a year to get there before she finally performed. It took her a while. I mean, not saying it wasn't self-inflicted wounds. I'm just saying she took a lot before she got there. This was day one, witness one, and Brennan lost his damn marbles.
How do you lose your mind? And they probably only going to have about 5 witnesses, right? They're going to be done. They're going to be done by this time next week. We're going to be in verdict watch soon.
And honestly, today somebody said Karen looks scared. Karen looks scared. And I said, I don't see scared, but it probably is real. Whatever she felt during the last verdict watch, she probably start feeling it when AJ starts speaking because she knows their case is not going to be as long as before. She probably already foresee where
she's going to have 20 days that she's going to have to wait.
We're here again. And the thing is, it's like I was laughing, I mean, hysterically earlier. Friend, I mean, in my laugh, I was laughing hysterically because I could not. It just was not processing in my brain that Brennan was still doing this. It just didn't process that Brennan. But the thing is like I said in my laughter, I should not be laughing because this is this woman's life. But this man is really losing his marbles. Like
I laugh a lot.
Why are you this mad? And it's not your life. Like you are fighting for Shannon's integrity that he lies about. I said at this point, I think Shannon gets an adrenaline rush by lying. He's been doing this for 17 years. Who can catch me? Catch me if you can. Like, but the thing about it is, we can talk about Shannon all we want to. Shannon is not going to get embarrassed. He don't feel no type of way. He wake up every morning, look in the mirror, and brush that bang. There's nothing on this earth.
He stood like that man stood by the fact that he lied in a degree, and he was correcting them. That should say it was 23. That was anticipated graduation date.
Life got in the way.
You're not even in school. Come on now.
Like even if you said you was in school, that's not what you're there for. They don't offer it there. So what school you at?
He's not in school.
Again, at this point, you about DeVry class of February.
She said class of February is kind of crazy.
I'm just saying, like you.
Mr. Reed, that's what he said. That was the anticipated graduation date. Oh, okay.
But then life got in the way. Life got in the way.
Class of February is crazy. Can you hear her?
Listen, it's got to be like just tell the truth. But the thing is, he didn't need a degree for what he was doing, so why lie about
There was no reason to lie. She said,
that's what I'm saying. You a lie when the truth are due. So I'm not really.
Mm-hmm.
ICDC. Wasn't there little Romeo? What was the one guy? Get up. You're not doing nothing. Get up and go to college. Remember that guy?
Key, not Key. What did he have? Y'all remember the right man had his hat like this when he come on? He be in the camera like this. Okay, let me stop.
Oh, that was a time. Everybody was supposed to go get their education. Everybody went and did what they had to do, and Shannon's still sitting up here. Don't even have enough sense to put the hat on. Why he didn't put on Miss Hyde's head wrap? He could have still had the little hangy dangy.
Miss Hyde's head wrap is crazy, baby. Wait a minute.
Y'all, Mel gonna call me screaming.
Miss Hyde took a lot of hits online for their head wrap. I wonder if she has dread. Wait a minute, my hat still hold on.
Yes. I don't know what Miss Hyde. I think whatever she was hiding, she
was hiding something under the head wrap, and I'd like to know what it is. She probably has.
You know, when you go over there on the Amish at the bakery, they had them the best donuts.
Oh, not the bakery. Not the bakery. Jessica Hyde literally she probably has dreads with some shells on the bottom of them. I can see some shells and some of those little gold things you put on your dreads. I know she has that. Oh. She was trying to look saintly, Victoria. Okay, let me stop. I hope she does. I think she does probably have dreads.
Like I said, on Malibu most wanted.
So she was hiding the piece that she was talking
with B-Rad. Yeah. B-Rad is that who's that? Colin. That's B-Rad. That's B-Rad from the Boo. She hiding Proctor and Chloe. You know what? At this point, I would take Chloe's word over everything. I feel like Chloe's been framed.
Poor Chloe friend. I mean,
I would rather Chloe get up there on the stand and bark this out for me because it makes most sense.
Have a Ouija board for Chloe friend. Chloe's gone.
Well, I know Chloe took the stairway to heaven. I understand that. I know that already.
This is why we're friends, because why in my mind, when I said Chloe's gone, I was singing Stairway to Heaven in my head. I would have played it, but we're on YouTube. I don't want to get copyrighted. I was thinking Stairway to Heaven.
Yes, Cool Joe. Cool Joe is gone.
Chloe has gone up to see the maker.
Listen, kid, yeah. Chloe then went to that big old bone in the sky.
Yeah.
It's over.
Well, she would say she got unlimited dog treats.
But at this point, after listening to Burgess and everything, Chloe is the scheme put together by Todd.
Period. They said you're his friend. Hey, yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
This was what the auntie was talking about. This was the scheme put together by Todd. I think they had us looking for Chloe. I think they had us looking for Chloe so we wouldn't get old Piggy Higgy.
She said Cora Jean in the Boom Boom with Ray and Claude.
No, listen, the upper room. Come on now.
Cora Jean, and the fact that y'all call that dog Cora Jean is hilarious. It's gone. Miss J, did you see Yates' screenshot of Mel? And
I did not.
The screenshot of me. The fact that y'all think y'all gonna put that in my comments is crazy. The fact that TikTok now lets you put pictures and comments.
Pictures in the comments.
Hey, Forrest, I look in my screenshot. I look at my comments and I see me.
Listen, I don't know. You see yourself in the comments. Listen, yeah, that is the weirdest thing, friend. I'm not even gonna lie to you. I be scrolling, doing like when I'm on TikTok, just chilling for myself. Thank you, Amy. And I just start. And I just start scrolling and I see myself come across there. That is the weirdest thing. And it's because it's not me. Somebody that screenshot or screen recorded you and it's me yelling, saying something crazy.
See, it's even crazier when it's a lawyer who has screenshotted you and she got the damn screenshot just floating around TikTok like crazy.
She need to make it a needle point. Put the make the screenshot a needle point. I buy it. You gotta make it make sense for all the platforms of all the creators, okay?
People all the time. I would really hate if you're not on like Miss J Live My Life on a regular basis. It's some stories go on you don't know. So that particular screenshot, Key texted said, "Thank you, Jay. Jay just gifted 5. Miss Jefferson says membership.
Oh, thank you, Jay.
Membership. Please be sure to say thank. My bad. I'm taking off Miss J chat, but I don't care.
Yeah, you got it.
Hey, thank you in chat. Tell Jay thank you.
Say thank you.
But listen, the fact that you if you're not on our lives on a regular basis, you will be lost at the amount of stuff we talk about. Okay. The amount of stuff we talk about, you got to be on here to catch on because that screenshot's so random. It's so random. But if you on here enough, it will remind you of something. But yeah. Oh, I wish I had it. Dang, I might have it. I can't text it to myself right now, my MacBook, and pull it up. Hey, Giggle Girl Editing, thank you for being here. She said, let me catch up on times 2. Somebody told me to watch Trial on times 2, on 2 speed. I'll try it, but I don't want to get lost, y'all. I already have ADHD. Now I got to
but when Brennan get to yelling, he was talking real fast. So you might have to wait a second for you to
watch it regular T. I like to watch it regular myself because I already have ADHD. Now I gotta focus extra hard so I'm not missing something. Plus, I'm trying to talk to the people in the chat. I hadn't been able to do that yet. Not yet. Girl, Aaron done put it in the chat. Let me see if I can pull it up. Aaron, what you put in the chat? I'm gonna stop clowning on these lies because the fact that I just got a screenshot from my hat twisted is crazy. Crazy. I'm gonna stop clowning on these lies because now I see this is a game. Y'all, this is a game. What?
I got one for you. So last night, real quick before we get off of here, y'all. Last night in the Court of Opinion, there was a story called Summer Vacation where a person who just turned 40.
She wanted to go.
She said she had been basically with her husband since she was 13. They had their first kid at 15. Yeah, and I kind of, out of all the paragraph and a half that was there, I locked onto this one sentence, was like, my friend said this is manipulation. Because she said that for the first time since the 7th grade, her husband was cold and distant because she had told him she wanted to get an apartment and move out and do her for a summer. And I didn't get that. I get
to do her. I must miss the do her part. Okay.
Yeah. And I was like, you know what? Nobody's going to take that from you. Like, you have to be able to be whole yourself. And if you don't know who you are outside of mom and wife and sister and cousin, that's a problem. So you do need to find out who you are. So don't let nobody take that from you. But I said, I guarantee if you leave this man that is a partner for the summer, it's going to be a heifer making his plate at 4th of July cookout. And it's any friend that tell you that it's going to be, any friend that want to encourage you to go move on out the way, she's probably trying to make sure she can make the plate. Like, this doesn't make sense. So, because she had given her husband so many accolades as far as what he was as a partner.
I remember.
Good. So, friend, after we got off last night, And you know how just about a minute or so, I can walk from my office back to my room and go get comfortable. Friend, by the time I sat down, I got, who are you to say who a friend is? What do you think you know? You missed the mark with this one. Someone needed help with their marriage, and you worried about one word, friend. And I'm a damn good one. You just miserable.
Oh, that's the friend.
I don't know whose email this is, but that's what I got last night.
Read it one more time for me.
It says, who are you to try to say who a friend is? What do you think you know? You missed the mark with this one. Someone needed help with their marriage, and you worried about one word, friend. And I'm a damn good friend. You are miserable.
Oh, that's the friend. That's the friend. And I'm sorry, what friend would tell another friend who's been in sounds like a loving marriage with a partner who helps her? What friend would give us some single woman advice?
So you sat up with this woman and watched the court of opinion last night just to get her
together.
And start making plans.
See, the friend was looking at her like this.
Soon as she tell you to leave him. Soon as she said, I'm sorry.
The friend probably start running shit through her head. Damn, she did wear these little ass shorts to the last cookout. She probably started running shit. Like, that's crazy.
She's probably calling that woman's husband. That's my brother. That's my brother.
That's messy. Court of opinion. Tell the friend call in.
You think I didn't send it? I said, oh, if you want to go ahead, we can do an update. And you both
friend, because call in and let's chat about it. Why would you tell your friend? Sounds like she's love it. I don't think you were saying anything wrong. And I also think it comes from a point of view of someone who's married. You gave her single woman advice. Because go do her, I think I must have missed go do her. I heard she wanted the summer. I thought she just needed a break. I missed the go do her. What the hell is go do you mean?
Well, my thing is, if you need a girls' weekend or a vacation or even take one for a week, cool. But to not be in any sort of contact, communication, or management of your household at all for an entire summer, I still stand on what I said. You're going to teach that man to live without you. And then you're going to figure out that whatever you out there into ain't always supposed to be. I really say
you ate with it.
Somebody was going to be doing it.
You did say somebody, didn't say friend.
I said somebody. I did start to say her because then I said, is it a broke friend? Is she broke? Because who would encourage you to go get an apartment and you're not going to finish out the lease? She didn't say Airbnb. She said she's going to go get an apartment. It sounds like she can't get one in her name and she's going to offer to finish out that lease for you. Or move into your room when you stuck in that apartment to finish out the lease because you done messed around, let your husband figure out how to live without you.
That's crazy to me. But I need her to call in. Are we going to get our first person? Are we going to get our first update? Because that wasn't enough.
Listen, I wrote back. I did respond, friend. I said, if this is truly the friend that was mentioned if this is truly the friend that was mentioned in the previous email titled Summer Vacation, no worries. The Court of Opinion does updates too. What I'll do is on Monday when I send out my links, I'll send you one too. If you like to update it, you don't have to use your name and you don't have to turn on your video. We can just talk.
You know, I thought about the Court of Opinion when I was driving, and I said how fun it is and how I can just see it getting bigger and bigger and bigger. Oh, I know why I thought about it this morning. I'm never listening to the radio, never ever. And I was out in the car early this morning, so was listening to the Strawberry Letter, and I said my friend hers gonna be this big because this is it right here, right? And the style, the advice that you give, everything, it is so amazing. And that's what made me think about it this morning. I was listening to that.
Thank you.
About the Court of Opinion.
She don't feel like it.
The fact that she responded.
I'm miserable.
Here's the thing. Well, you're not miserable. Let's buy. Because damn, miserable. Here's the thing. The fact that you said, listen, we don't have to go back and forth via email. Here's the link.
You can join. Anything I say, I can be corrected. I could have been wrong.
Now I need to see why you feeling so pressed. Your friend doesn't know me from Tom, Dick, and Harry. She can take that advice or she can throw it away. Why are you so mad about it?
Well, my thing is, you could have only gotten mad because it didn't go the way you planned for. Yeah. Maybe your friend questioned you, or maybe your friend went home and hunched her husband and threw all this mess, all this malarkey away. I don't know what happened, but whatever had happened, you seem like the only one mad.
Yeah.
Because this person wrote the email in the first place. So it ain't like they can't re-email me. It ain't like we haven't been conversing, because every week on Mondays, on Saturdays, I let them know that they've been chosen for this week's show. So they get a heads up on the time and everything. And then on Mondays, I remind them, hey, here's the link again. This is all you have to do. Don't have to show your face, all of that. And then I resend it out. Another email, a reminder email goes out, says, hey, we'll be live in 30 minutes.
Not you got a whole production going on behind the scenes. Yes. Right.
So now we give them time slots. So now we give them time slots so that people are all like, don't know when to jump on. So even if they don't want to listen to anybody else's, yours will be on from 6:15 to 6:35 or whatever it may be. For like, we kind of try to gauge it. It's not an exact science, but kind of try to gauge about how long it is without them telling me exactly what it is. So with that one, it was like, it's a short one, so you shouldn't, but it turned into something else because it might have been a shorter one, but
I think it hit you though. You like,
what? It hit me because I was like, whoa, where did that come from?
Yeah, that's what it was.
Where did that come from?
I don't know if she wants the man or not, so I ain't gonna say that about Sister Girl. But what I am gonna say is, like, I'm single. When I have my best friend. My best friend was married. I can listen to your feelings. I can say whatever, but I would never ever fix my mouth to say leave your husband, F him, nothing, because see, I'm not married. I didn't stand to take those vows, and people keep saying this. I've seen people in the comments say single people can't give married people advice. That may be true to an extent, but I also feel like two married people, that is, you can't really be in here. I mean, if the man putting his hands on you, something like that, of course, you're going to be leave him, right? But going back and forth with things, the most I can say is, listen, you need to make the best decision for you. Damn, I hate that that's going on. I hate that that's happened. I hate you're feeling like that. But you have to make the best decision for you. That's the most that we can do. And why do I see shots again?
Oh.
2 hours.
I mean, we still here at 2 hours. So, yeah, we got to take one for the road.
Let me go get a shot.
You know what actually hit me? I had somebody who left their long-term relationship that I knew years and years ago. And within a summer, she regretted it. And was nothing she can do. I say, go figure out your shit with your people, right? Like, we don't know that relationship. We don't know that man. All I ever say to married people, with me being one of them, is you know who you married.
Yep.
You know who you married. So if you just want to vent and yell and fuss and cuss, that's fine. But at the end of the day, you know who you married. Only thing I can say is, like, but I always say there's a fine line between having a single friend, because my best friend is single with no kids. Been my best friend since before Big Unc and after.
Mm-hmm.
Still is. He couldn't stand her at first. He was like, oh no, she wild. She gonna have you out here. I'm like, she can't have me doing nothing. So they had their little tussle in the beginning, but at not once did she ever say,
oh, I like that, Jacob. I like the pros and cons, but
pros and cons
decision that is so real. That's the
pros and cons. That pros and cons. Once you encourage them to do that, let them do that by themselves, because there's going to be a pro there or a con there that they ain't gonna never tell nobody but God. So again, it goes
come on now.
You know your spouse. You know who and what you married. You do. You know who and what you married, and since you know that, can't nobody really make this decision but you. So I'm not going to tell you what to do. Now, if you got a sparring partner, that's something else. But if you, I mean, and even in those situations, you still can't tell people what to do. They're still going to do what they want to do. But I couldn't believe, if this is the real friend, Holla at me.
Friend, I mean, you talking about if
things from
kind of giving this her, and she got some shit.
Well, I'm just saying the first set of emails for next week's folks is gonna go out tomorrow. I can rearrange some time if I'm just since you got your degree and you know
every thing. But let's tell friend there. Friend, you might be watching this, and I just have to say, I don't know you from a can of paint, but friend, please come to the live respectful. Just come to the live respectful because I sure hate for 800 people to be eating in the chat. Oh, no, listen, I hate for 800 coming strong for you, friend. I would hate that. Just come respectful because we don't even know you, and your word is not going to mean as much as her word when it comes to her friend, right? So if you just want to chit chat and say, hey, listen, you took it wrong. That's not what it was. Cool. But come to the live respectful.
Yeah, because I only had what was given. I just had that little
I'm to the live because I feel like the chest poked out in the email. You get nasty for what? And I just don't appreciate that. You're getting nasty for what? That's all I'm saying is, Court of Opinion is an amazing show, right? It has an amazing host, an amazing chat. We have a really great time every Thursday at 9:00 Eastern Standard Time. This is not federal court. Nothing he says is going on your public record. Okay? Nothing he says, right, is going on your credit report. Nothing. So I don't think it was warranted for her to come at you like that because, and you give a disclaimer. I'm not telling you to do this shit. You do what you want to do. This is just
you do what you want to do. You ask, I'm gonna give my opinion. She's
about Mel about to cry from the liquor. Do I sound like I'm about to cry? Because I'm definitely not.
But when she watched what's his name? Brennan perform, she gonna cry. Matter of fact, when you watching it?
I'm trying to see now. When I get off this live, I'm gonna holler at Kylie, see what's up with her. My niece has done a whole lot to distract her while I've been on here working.
Well, let me know when you go into, and I'm gonna watch you watch it. I got to see it. I'm gonna watch Mel watch it.
I really want to start tonight, but I'm gonna see what she's talking about. I'm gonna see what Kylie's talking about.
Okay, you done had the baby hemmed up for 2 hours.
We don't have a problem. We don't have a problem with being on no long lives. We don't. Over here, we do this all the time. Just random sit on live till 3-4 o'clock in the morning. We just something wrong with us. But I'm gonna talk to her and I'm gonna see what she's talking about. And then I'm gonna let y'all know. I'll get on TikTok live and let y'all know what I'm gonna do.
Okay. I'm gonna watch Mel watch it. So I got to see. I got to see.
I just might. It's 10 o'clock. I just might. But I'm holler at her. I'm gonna go on here. I'm gonna tally up her money so I can make sure I send it to her daddy. Y'all watch your return. To her daddy.
She said no. She said that's not where it goes.
Wait to call him when we get off this live, baby.
She said that's not where it goes. So I want to thank y'all before we hop off of there for just that quick helping me hit 12K on this here. This is YouTube. On this YouTube, TikTok, we are so close to our first goal of 100K. I am so excited. It's been happening so quick. So hopefully, I'm gonna have to do something. I'm beautiful.
Hello.
Hi.
Okay, I have to tell y'all. No, let me tell you what happened today. It was really crazy. We had a really crazy experience today. We were out and she's been swimming in the pool, so her hair is super puffy. Child, somebody walked up. I ain't gonna even do the accent. Can I touch your hair? She thought it was so funny. What they say about your hair, Kylie? What the lady say about your hair?
It's fluffy.
You talking about, baby? It's so squishy. So I'm trying to talk to her because we've never had to have this conversation before. And I was just like, TT, apologize. I'm too busy trying to record this so I can send it to my sister. Like, yo, I can't believe someone actually walked up to say, can I touch your hair? First of all, they was like, it's so pretty. And her hair looks a mess. She's at puffs right now. She's been in the pool. But yeah, I told her, what do you say next time? If somebody say, can I touch your hair? What are you going to say? There we go. We had to talk. We had to talk about it. It's a no thing.
That because the boys have always had their hair. And so we used to leave it in puffs, like 4 puffs all the time. And then one day, Dallas is not like French braids. He does not. So when I used to cornrow his hair to the back, he would pull it out the middle and stuff. And I was scared that one day he was going to pull his hair out. Yeah. But then my sister was like, well, just put some singles in it. And I said, well, I'm going to put some singles in the baby's head. And he up here move. So my sister's a hair braider. So when we went for her wedding, she braided their hair up, twisted their hair up. So when I got home, washed their hair, and I'm like, I got to put all these damn twists back. Honey, one time I just didn't take them damn twists out. I just started retightening them.
Yeah, I know that's right.
The parts and shit. I was like, well, shit, if they decide to cut it off, they're going to cut it off. But
cut it off.
I do locks and stuff like that. So I was like, okay, well, I ain't did it in a while, but I can definitely keep this up. I'd rather keep this up than keep taking it down and making them sit down and stuff like that. So Dallas's hair was twisted first. Then we did Denver's, but that was a whole travesty in itself. And now y'all know Big Unc then locked his hair up. Wow. So now his hair is locked up. And so they all look like big and small versions of each other. But when that happened, people say, oh my God, look at their hair. And I'll be papping hands. Hey.
And
so
I'm
now don't come in my personal space. Denver be like, Mom.
Yeah, I'm used to it with my hair because when it's waved, it just fascinates people. It's just simple waves. But I've never had that happen with one of the kids before, and I was absolutely stunned. Like, wow, they really.
Everything it was one of Dallas's sisters. She would just want to sit and play with his hair. Like, quit touching him.
It's crazy. But thank y'all so much. Thank y'all so much. Thank you for all of the super chats for Kyrie.
Yes, all the memberships.
Thank you for the memberships. Thank you guys for liking the lives. Get my girl to 12K. And if you are on the chat, you are not following her on TikTok, please make sure you do because she almost at 100K. Yes. Get my girl to this 100K before we're over. But thank you. Thank you guys. Thank you guys so much.
All right, everybody. See y'all. Bye, friends. Y'all have a good one.
Bye, y'all.